Hello people and welcome to another video on my channel today. As you know by the title and thumbnail, and even if you follow me on Instagram, I went to Germany itself on a very big long road trip in 3 weeks. We explored the most amazing locations. Some of them are actually untouched from vandalism. We went to sanatoriums, mental asylums, houses, spa relax places with like strange finds or finding a nuclear bunker in the location. And yeah, I'm going to be inserting clips of my own and also pictures of my own in this video, and also I've been lent to use drone footage from my friend, and I'll be leaving a link to his Instagram down below, to Abandoned Ants. Yeah, just wanted to say thank you for letting me use your drone footage. Some of the drone footage is going to be abandoned and non-abandoned, but some of the locations we went to were absolutely breathtaking, I'd say. But yeah, I could talk about this for ages, so let's get on with the video. So we left Britain about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get to France until about 1:45 in the morning. And we had our 3.5-hour car journey to Belgium. But our first location that we was going to be exploring would be this marvellous, elegant chateau with the main entrance hall, which was like something from like Buckingham Palace. There was a red, elegant carpet going up the staircase, going to the main first floor, with another red carpet going to different corridors of bedrooms. And these bedrooms were like 5 stars, en suites, double beds, single beds, king size beds, you name it, they got it. These bedrooms were like something from like Sleeping Beauty, because they were so like elegant, with like the views out of the window looking out onto the woodlands below. But that was like an elegant explore, I'd say. And then we finished that location and we had a 2.5-hour car journey to our second location of the road trip. We was going towards this abandoned Piscine Casino, and this location was like something that I found and I thought it looked quite interesting, with the retro decor of the bendy out windows. And inside, I didn't even know what was inside until we got in. I found a marvellous underground swimming pool, and above the swimming pool I found an elegant theatre hall with the theatre stage still standing, but the whole building was totally trashed from vandals, but the oval windows were absolutely beautiful for photography. And after that we went to our third location, which would be some abandoned train stations and metro stations. They were built for the train line, but they were never used. They were just built and then left, and then nature took over. So they've never had a train go through their stations whatsoever. So it's just like a ghost train station. And I spotted like train tunnels, train stations, underground escalators going up to the surface for passengers to come down, but the train station never had passengers. And then after that we went to our bed and breakfast evening hotel. So we woke up the following morning and we was going to our 4th location of the road trip. We was going to this location called Stradbard D, and the location was 2 swimming pools next to each other, as they didn't want to mix the sex for the women and men, so they kept the 2 sexes apart. So one swimming pool was for the women and the other swimming pool were for the men, which was quite strange. But inside was absolutely like beautiful. One of the swimming pools was completely and utterly trashed from vandalism, and it doesn't even look like a swimming pool, it just normally looks like a skate park. But the other swimming pool was absolutely beautiful, with the graffiti around the whole swimming pool and the orange tinted windows just left there. And then when you walk through the swimming pool, you're just gazed upon the swimming pool down below from the overhead seats. So we finished the swimming pool explore and we had a 2.5 hour car journey to our 5th location. This location I didn't even know about existed until my friend told me that we're going to a mental asylum, and I thought, oh, I love mental asylums, to see what kind of things happened there with the dark history behind it. But this mental asylum has a name called Shutter Island, and I didn't even know that this place was named Shutter Island until I'd done some research on the car journey, and I found out Shutter Island means mirror image, but this location has another mental asylum on the opposite side of the active mental asylum, and this one had creepy dolls inside. But the first mental asylum we went to had loads of interesting things like old televisions, wheelchairs with teddy bears in, Walt Disney posters on the floor, kind of creepy really. But the other mental asylum we accidentally come across, we noticed that every single room, top to bottom, was filled and chock-a-blocked with like beds, cupboards, wardrobes, and kind of creepy, coming across a whole room filled with toys, prams, dolls and teddy bears, and even a nice blue bathroom. Our 6th location we went to was the Villa of the Director. The Villa of the Director I didn't even know about, but I know down the road the Villa of the Director, or the director himself, actually owned the coal mining company down the road from his villa. But I knew about the coal company, but I didn't even know this place existed. And inside the Villa of the Director, it was totally trashed from natural decay. There was nothing left from the decay. All the staircases were falling into each other. Even the cellar down below had loads of like champagne bottles from the last owner who owned this location. So on to our 7th location, we had an 1.5-hour journey to this non-abandoned location, but we did come across an abandoned location after we spotted it on the way to this location. This location was a bridge that was a very photogenic bridge, and my friend wanted to take a photo of it. And then after that we all decided to go and have a look at this very interesting cave system. And then we entered the cave system, and it had a very strange barrier. One side was Belgium, and the other side, when you walked into the cave system, you was in the Netherlands. So it was a very strange invisible barrier kind of thing. When we was inside the tunnels or the cave system, we noticed very big shiny doors that led into the deepest part of the mine shaft or caves. And we didn't even know what was behind it. We thought we was something from like Lord of the Rings, like going into the mines of Moria or something. And we noticed that there was 3 big shiny doors, and we must have like thought, what would be behind it? Would it be like science equipment for like the aliens or FBI or the German soldiers or whatever, keeping all like the famous treasures or whatever? And then I went on my own, not very far from the main tunnel system, and I come across like very old 1914 war graffiti with like a man in a soldier uniform with a very funny mermaid tail for its legs, and there was a very chalk outline of a person who looked like Jesus. So I had my thoughts that this place must have been used for like an air raid shelter, as it's very deep inside the hillside of the Netherlands. So our next location It was an animal feed factory where they produced the animal feed for the local animals around the area, and even they sent some food away to shops and other like farm shops as well. And this location absolutely stunk of chicken food, and it stunk all the way around the whole location. But inside the location it had like very interesting farm equipment to like go through the chicken feed and all the animal food, and it had like chicken boxes, it had like funny yellow go-karts that would move around the feed to different parts of the factory. And we went to our bed and breakfast place and we explored the following morning as well. So we woke up the following morning and we went to our 8th location, which would have been this massive abandoned train station warehouse complex. It had upstairs, it had downstairs, it even had downstairs in the basement little mine carts that reminded from Minecraft, and they must have like put equipment in there from the trains up from the top, and they would have carted them around the basement or the upper floors to different parts of the warehouse. But sadly the warehouse has been overrun with natural decay, and even the trees are inside are growing, so it looks like an indoor greenhouse. And there is loads of graffiti inside as well. So after the train station warehouse complex, we had a 3.5 or 2.5 hour car journey to our 9th location, and this location was a mining complex with corridors and corridors and corridors going off to different parts of the complex with different rooms. We found card slots that the miners would have put in and ticked themselves out when they were leaving the complex when they finished work. We went to another complex over the road to the lift shaft that would have gone down to the mine shaft itself, and like the drone footage that my friend gave me looked absolutely amazing from overhead view. And inside the first mining complex there was like strange cages hanging from the ceiling that I've never seen before. They look like parrot cages, but they are nicknamed the bird cages. So we finished with the mining complex and we had about 2.5 hour car journey to our final or 5th bed and breakfast night stay. I know quite a lot of driving involved in this like road trip, but yeah, it has to be done. But the following morning we had about 2 locations, but we stumbled across this marvellous 3rd location by complete accident. So the following morning we woke up and we all decided to go to the location before breakfast. But the location we was going to, we didn't even know that it was going to be in there for about 2 hours. We was going to this doctor's house with everything still left inside. Beds, hospital chairs, notes from the people, old photos of the doctor herself or himself, family photos of the children. Upstairs was like a elegant, like very double bedroom with an ensuite and balcony. This location was absolutely beautiful. Even the library downstairs was like fully chock-a-block with books. And then we had breakfast and we went on to our next location, which was about a 10-minute drive from the doctor's house. And this location that we was going to, we had a time limit of about 1.5 or 2 hours. But this location, we was there for about 2.5 hours because this location was absolutely massive. This hotel had about 200 rooms, and I must have like explored about 50 rooms just to see if there was anything interesting in the rooms. Some of them had just leftover furniture. Some of them were completely empty. But on the third floor, there was an indoor swimming pool, and this place looked absolutely marvellous. Not a lot of stuff in the swimming pool like normal vandals do, just chuck stuff. The wall behind the swimming pool looked absolutely amazing, with the mosaic behind it looked very impressive by a photo. And we was leaving the hotel, and we didn't have any more locations in that area, so we carried on driving. But down the road we noticed that this funny building, looked like a kid's nursery, had graffiti on the inside. So that gave us like a very strange, peculiar sensation, saying, is this abandoned or is it not? And we noticed that the back end had quite a lot of smashed windows, so that gave it away that it was completely abandoned. But this location would have been the finest location in Germany, that all the people in Germany know about this location, and we accidentally come across it totally by accident while we was driving out of the village. And this location would have been the finest location that we would ever find in Germany, but that's something for another story. 2 last locations of the week of the road trip nearly finishing, but we got an extra 2 weeks to go. So we finish off exploring this spa resort, and we come across this sanatorium, which we become friends with the key holder. So in a week's later, we have a guided tour by his friend who speaks English and speaks German. So the history behind it I will get to in the later part of the video. So we pushed on to our last destination, which would be my friend's apartment that he has somewhere in Germany. In the couple of days prior we go exploring again, we do some local explores by myself, and sometimes with the people who I'm with. We explore this abandoned train station totally by accident, as my friend wanted some new wood for his floor in his apartment. But the train station was very elegant itself. It had pale blue bathrooms. It still had carpet on the staircase, but sadly the ceiling was starting to cave in, as it's been abandoned since 2011. So 2 days after we explored the train station, I had the experience of exploring this abandoned train complex, and I was there exploring it for about good 3.5 hours because it was a very big location. And when I exit the location, I noticed over the other side of the road was this abandoned house, so I thought I would explore it when I had better, quite dark at that time, so I thought I would pin it and go to it the next time I was visiting the local area. And then a couple of days later we decided to go on to another part of Germany, and we would go towards this abandoned mill, and then we would go to this abandoned brewery, and then we went to our next bed and breakfast in the vicinity of the area. And our next location would be another unexpected location, because this tower looked very peculiar behind the trees. So we parked up in the public car park, and we noticed that the building next to the tower looked abandoned, and we noticed broken glass in the windows. This location was very peculiar because it looked like a refurbishment started going on into the building, and then it was just left empty. By the research, it was a very posh castle, and then it was turned into a residential place, but it didn't tell you any more history on that. And then we went back to my friend's apartment, and then we was there for about a good day or so, and we were talking about what locations we can go and visit on our way back from our Germany trip. So we were talking about we would like to explore this massive RAF hospital that's been abandoned for about good 19 years, The hospital itself was absolutely a marvellous location. The corridors went on for miles and miles and miles. The fog was rolling in like anything. It was like something from like Silent Hill, kind of creepy vibe really. And we went to our next bed and breakfast on the way back to Britain, and the following morning we went to the abandoned ghost town or village, which is very well known in the community or where we were staying. So most of the whole village or town is completely abandoned. You can get into some of the locations, but some of them are very secured tight. So after that we was on the road again to France, and we was on our 17th location, I think, and we was going towards the area. So we carried on to the location after we had our IKEA breakfast, and this location was a very trash location by looking at it close up. From the roadside it looked quite impressive with the architect, windows and the very impressive like back staircase to the property. And this location was a Chinese restaurant which was called the Double Dragon Chinese Restaurant. Inside it had elegant emerald wallpaper or paint on the walls. Some rooms had like orange paint on the walls. Some of the toilets had like emerald like paint on the walls and baby blue paint as well. It had a very big kitchen for a very big restaurant of its era. The basement was absolutely marvellous and big. It had 2 or 3 wine cellars or beer cellars. Stopped exploring and we went back to the car, and we had another 2.5-3 hour journey towards our last destination before we got into the Euro train. And we stopped off at this marvellous chateau which is well known for its name, Cinderella Chateau. This place, the interior was like something from like you get in like mansions in like Britain. The architect of the chateau itself, with the beautiful arch windows, the staircase was absolutely beautiful. The carpet was like intact on the staircase. Upstairs it had like a very orange tinted window up the top. It had like elegant bathrooms. The bathrooms had like mirrors on the wall, because at one stage it was a very well known restaurant or hotel of the village and town it was in, and it was such an elegant location. Just to end off the explore on that was like something amazing. And yeah, getting back on the road again, we ended on a high note. We got to the Eurotunnel about 3 hours earlier than expected. So we got on the train about 6:15, and then we got to Britain about 7:05, and we had our last Chinese buffet meal, and then we went to the pub to have our last evening get together, and then we all got dropped off at our different locations of our houses. And that is the road trip of 2020 of me going to Germany, and it would be a lifetime for me remembering this trip. And hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, to bring this video to an end, so I will skip forward now to me in my bedroom doing my outro. So yeah. So we're finished with this video. Sadly, with the 2020 road trip to Germany has ended, but with the locations I've got for you in video form are going to be like breathtaking, with like sanatoriums, mental asylums, houses, spa relax places. Some of the locations I got to you are like sick and beautiful. I'll be leaving any links in the description down below to Abandoned Ants, who actually let me use the drone footage. I'll be leaving any of my social media links down below if you want to follow me on that, and also follow Abandoned Ants because he gave me the drone footage, which was kind of him. I'll be leaving the 2020 road trip Germany link in the description down below to the playlist if you want to rewatch them when I've uploaded them. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Next Saturday's video will be the first of my Germany road trip. Gonna be amazing, like couple of like weeks of me uploading them. You might get bored after the third video, but yeah, I didn't get bored filming these videos because they were beautiful locations. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in next week's video. Over and out. Bye! Hello people, and thank you for watching my video, and if you'd like to turn the bell on for notifications so you won't need to miss any videos which I upload, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and also don't forget to follow me on my social medias. The links will be in the description down below. You can follow me on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and also thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in another video. Over and out. Bye!